Hello, welcome back. Let's play another game. So we're going to change the difficulty this time from easy to... Okay, we can only go to 1, so we'll start with that. And let's go battle. So I've been asked a question or two, like, what is this game? And it's what we call an auto battler. And so the way it works is you have a deck of cards, and each card is a character, and you take a series of skirmishes against your opponent where you're trying to gather the most amount of points. And each territory is worth a certain amount of victory points. And after each skirmish, you get to draw a random card from your deck that you then use to conquer the field in the next skirmish. So the idea is that while you're placing your cards, the opponent is also placing their cards, and you cannot see what they're doing. Now we have the reveal. Okay, so they have placed cards on the same territory that we want, this number 4 territory, so these two are gonna fight each other. This one is all theirs, and this one is all mine. And in order to capture a territory, your character needs to be there uncontested for a certain number of turns. Now we go to ready. Okay, and now our characters are fighting each other using their own intelligence. We don't interfere. And our scout has just slain the enemy, and we have just conquered that 4 points territory. As you can see, we can't capture it yet because the enemy is still contesting it. And there we go. We've just scored another 4 points and another 2. So in this skirmish, we scored 7 points versus their 2. And that goes into our total pool. So at the moment, we are leading 7 points to 2. Once we reach 80 points, we've won. Now we get to draw a random card from our deck. And we get a choice of 3 randoms. And each one costs us a certain amount of gold. So we gather gold by winning fights during the skirmishes. And these 2 are too expensive because we only have 1 gold. So we'll go for an elf scout, which costs us 0. Okay, and at the end of each skirmish, the field of battle slightly changes. Some areas will decay and become uninhabitable, while others will spawn in. Okay, we're gonna go with our same strategy of grouping pairs together, just for a bit of security. Leaving a single unit on its own is perilous, but there's some cost benefits involved. Now, as you can see, so they've placed a single elf scout against our 2, and they've placed 2 against that territory. So most probably these 2 will be fighting. We'll capture this one, they'll capture that one, and then we'll see what happens at the end of that. Okay, their scout is coming in strong, and our hammer delivers the first blow. And their scout is beating our scout, but our hammer jumps in there. See, this is why putting a single unit on its own is perilous. Like that. So our hammer has attempted to cause some damage, but he has missed. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, it looks like the hammer's gotten some reinforcements and they're fighting back. Alright. So we have 2 points, they have 2 points so far. And a killing blow by our scout. Okay, we have scored 8 points versus their 2, and we are now in the lead 15-4. We go to next skirmish. Okay, we have 2 gold available, and we can either choose to save that and just buy a scout from our deck, or we'll just go with a berserker instead. Now, of course, we hold down Alt to see the details, and we see that the berserker gets a bonus attack each time it kills an enemy. Very nice. It's got an attack of 4, health of 9, and no armor. His unique name is Crane Blackbanner. Well, I believe we had him in the last battle as well. Because of course he came from our deck, so we get to see him again. Okay, now there's a whole other aspect which is deck building, which we're not going to visit today. So we're just still gonna try to pair these guys up and see how they fare out. So there is a number 4 field, which is uncontested, but the enemy's likely to crowd that in, so we don't want to lose all our best units while trying to capture the surrounding fields. So it's just a strategy of mine. We'll see if it pans out. And there we go. So they're attempting for the number 4. They've got a theory crafter on his own against us at the other 4, and it looks like they have a unit possessed. They have a hammer. So there's a card called Possessed, which basically tries to copy one of your cards, and then that clone fights you with exactly the same stats. Okay, so we're ready. Alright, so their Possessed stood no chance against the combined attack. Very nice. So that's 2 fields immediately captured, and now they've just scored their 4, but they're also outnumbered. So this is the benefit of a focused attack, where you can have multiple units deal the maximum amount of damage at once, and that reduces the damage you take as well, because you take them down before they have a chance to counterattack. And there we go. It's a clean sweep. We got 10 points versus their 4. And that puts us way in the lead at 25 points to 8. We go to next skirmish. Okay, so we have a couple of zone effect cards versus just another unit that can fight. So a Purify Station. It creates... Right, so whatever zone we place it on will become toxic, which causes armor-piercing damage to all creatures in that zone at the end of each turn. So if any units have armor, it will destroy their armor. Fairly early on in the game, there's not many units with any armor at all, so this isn't that useful. It also requires us to actually own that territory, so not terribly useful. Ruin. Right, so if we ruin a zone, it will spin its victory points down to 0. So that basically denies the enemy any victory points from capturing that zone. So obviously we place that card down on a zone, and then we don't bother with capturing it. Continue. Okay, so let's deploy. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ruin one of the 4s. Because the last time they tried to capture this one, and they got 4 points out of it, but if we ruin it, that will spin that down to 0, so that'll be wasted for them. We'll place our Berserker at this field. The reason I'm placing it on there is that on capture, a random local unit gains permanent attack and 2 health. Now, of course, all of these bonuses, they go away as soon as the match is finished, but for the duration of the match, whatever unit captures this, he will get an extra attack and 2 health points for the rest of the game. As you've seen, our 2 hammers have already gotten these bonuses, so we'll try to make the Berserker gain the same. So place the Berserker there and a couple of Elf Scouts, and we will let the hammers capture the other 4 on the field. Now, this is, of course, all just gambling on the fact that the enemy will try to attack this field by themselves, so we'll just see how that plays out. Okay, so they have attempted to capture that field, but they did not commit as many units as I was hoping. Okay, so they've gone for the distribution. They've tried to kind of spread themselves out over the field, whereas we've continued with our concentrated attack. So now this unit is wasted. They're going to capture that, but get 0 points for it. Right? So that's the beauty of a ruin, is that you can try to force your enemy to waste their resources, because they did not know it was going to be ruined before they placed their cards on it. Well, let's see how this plays out. So these will most probably capture. These will fight, and this will capture as well. Let's see how that plays out. Okay, open up strong. Whoa. Okay, our hammers are hanging in there. They're... Whoa, what was that? What is that unit? It seems to deal damage to everybody on the field. Oh no, our hammer goes down. Oh no, we're in trouble here. Okay, one of their scouts goes down, and their low magus goes down as well. Yep, looks like they're gonna own this particular skirmish though. Let's score more points than we have. Okay, down goes whatever that was. Okay, so this time around we scored 5 points, they scored 9, but we're still in the lead at 30 points to 17. So we're still sitting pretty. They can still catch up to us, but we will see if we can stay ahead. So a research station card is another area effect card. At the start of the skirmish, gain 1 victory point for each skirmish research station has been in place. Right, so once we capture a field, if that field has a research station on it, we'll keep getting victory points for every turn after that. This can be quite a powerful card. So what we'll do is we'll lock it in place so that way it won't get changed next time. But instead we're gonna get another hammer because we need some more soldiers on the field. Okay, so now there is a minefield, which causes 50% it's a 50% chance of taking 5 damage to all units in that field. It's worth 4 points, but it's also high risk. Basically, this can completely annihilate your army just by them sitting there. So we'll try again to place our berserker, and we'll give him a hammer to help him out. So our elf scout got the bonuses last time, which is good. So we'll try to focus attack on the number 4 here. We're going to try to keep them all together because the field is pretty tight-knit at the moment. There's not a whole lot of travel time. So it's better to keep them together rather than spreading them apart. Whoops. We've forgotten to deploy something, so we'll cancel that. We still have our ruin card. So we are going to ruin the minefield, because why not? It's the most highly valuable one by highest risk as well. So if they do place something there, they will get 0 points for their troubles. Okay. What are they up to? Okay, so we've just zeroed out the minefield, which is good. That takes it out of play. I'm not sure what they placed here. I don't know what this is. Scout drone. Wow, so a scout drone allows your units to travel through ruined areas. This can be quite powerful because ruined zones are obstacles otherwise. So we do seem to have more bodies on the field. So we have 2, 4, 6. They have 2, 4. Now we're actually 1-to-1. But we do have them outnumbered in these two. So they'll most probably gather up all of these, so that's worth 4 points total. But we are blocking them from entering these 2 zones until they've gone through us. So hopefully our numerical advantage will keep us on top. Let's see how this goes. Okay, their scout usually attacks first. They scout have a higher initiative. But it looks like our hammers are definitely dishing out their damage with their good damage. And our scout delivers that killing blow. So those areas are now ours. Their scout comes in. Of course, they attack first, but our hammers counterattack and the berserker finishes them off. Okay, so our hammer and our scout are off to battle their berserker and their low magus, I believe. Okay, now Theory Crafter, and he did not stand much of a chance. Okay, it looks like this particular skirmish is going to be ours. Lovely, we scored 10 points versus their 3. We're now at a running away lead at 40 points to 20. Let's do the next skirmish. Okay, so I think we have enough bodies on the field for the time being. We're going to try with a research station. This is normally handy if you have a field that's sort of separated on its own, and you can just capture it by itself and just keep scoring victory points from it. You place it very early, you capture it very early, and then you just keep scoring points off of it. So useful. It does cost us 1 man down, but yeah, it may come in handy. Let's just see how it plays. Okay, so new field is opening up. Okay, what is that one? So that is Ruins, worth of 2 victory points. And its modifiers are gold, so you gather more gold when you have it captured. Okay. So what we might do this time, well, we're going to try to ruin the minefield again, so we don't want that. We're going to place a, we can't place a research station here for some reason. Okay, I'm not sure why that is. It requires sovereignty. Oh, it can only be placed on zones you captured in the previous skirmish. Okay, so we shall place it here. And we're going to have to make sure we capture that now, otherwise that card is wasted. So we'll place a hammer and a berserker there. And let's place a couple of cards around, just a real scout there. Yeah, so this leaves all of these up for capture, but it's a risk, but let's see how we play out. Okay, what are they going for? Okay. Yep, they're definitely interested in that goal. Okay, so they are trying for the minefield, which is going to get ruined on them. Good. So, what have they done? They're going to try to capture this one, the trench, and that'll give them 2 victory points. They're definitely capturing the ruins, and they'll probably capture this one and this one as well. They're going to try, they've tried to go for the minefield, but that's now spun to 0, so this low Magus will probably move into this field and battle it out. They're pretty dangerous because they do piercing damage to everybody at once instead of one at a time, but there's just one of them, so I'm hoping the numerical advantage here of our Berserker, Hammer, and Scout will take them down quickly. They do have a bit of health, 9 points, so if every one of ours deals about 3 damage to them, that should be enough to take them down in 1 turn. It will delay the capture of this field by 1 turn, but it is what it is. Okay, let's see how this plays out. There we go, and the low Magus goes down. So we have captured the 4, they've captured the ruins. We're trying to capture the 2, and they're trying to capture the 1. And our research station is in action. Alright, very good attack by our Berserker there. Okay. Whoa, our Scout has gotten attacked, and our Scout goes down. Our Hammer takes a hit. Okay, the rest of our soldiers are done. And that's it. That was a complete tie. This is an 8. We scored 8 points. They scored 8 points. So we're still in the lead at 20 points. 48 to 28. Let's see what we do next time. Radiation Therapy. Unit gets an attack and +2 health permanently. Kin of the Atom, which when it attacks, it deals 1 piercing damage to every enemy in the zone. So its attack is 2, health is 8, and it has a 10% chance to evade attacks. And the Scout, it can move up to 2 zones per turn. It attacks to a damage of 3 points, has a health of 5, and a 10% evade. So we're going to go for the Kin of the Atom. Even though they only do 2 attack, they do 2 attack to everybody. Okay, we're going to go for the Kin of the Atom. So continue. Okay, what do we have? Okay, so the minefield is now separate from the rest of the battlefield, but they do have that Scout Drone card, which will give them access. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deny them access by ruining it. Next, we're going to capture this, our favorite, what is this anyway? It's a trench. So we're going to capture our trench by focus attacking on it. Gonna place some of our strongest units there. So our hammer with 11 health and another hammer with 9 health. And then we might place the newbie, the hammer, and the elf scout on this field, which is rubble-strewn streets. So at the end of each turn, each unit in zone takes 1 piercing damage. Okay, maybe not place them there. Let's try well, this other one, which does not deal piercing damage to everybody. Okay, let's see how we go with that. We're still going with the focus attack. We really don't want any lone stragglers. Okay, and they have spread themselves all over the arena, which may work against us. They may capture enough fields that they will take the lead from us. But of course, individual units, they're quickly dispatched. Individual units are quickly dispatched, but group units means you have fewer areas that you're capturing at once. So it's always a risk-benefit. Let's see how this particular battle goes out. Okay, so their hammer goes down. So there we go. That was very quick. They got 11 points versus our 6. So you can see the focus attack did not help us that time around at all. So we'll go to next skirmish. Okay, so we have a Spitting Cobra. It is a ranged unit. It has no attack of its own, but it poisons targets. Okay. I like the Spitting Cobra. Does it have a unique name? Morphin Longlimb. And a Gamma Priest. At the start of the attack phase, he has a 20% chance of giving a random ally in zone +1 attack and +2 health permanently. Unique name is Orvin Galakir. I like the Gamma Priest. We're going to save him for next turn. But for the time being, we're going to buy our Spitting Cobra. Okay, it looks like 3 more zones are opening up. So this one is a bear den. If you capture the zone, a neutral bear will fight at your side. But until you've captured it, it will attack any unit in that zone, defending its territory. Okay, so this one is... Yep, this one scores you gold. We have a minefield and a trench. Okay, well, let's start by capturing our favorite research station there. We'll focus attack again, and then we might go for the bear den. And let's place... we don't want to place the Spitting Cobra on his own. It really needs support because he has no attacks of his own. Okay, let's place a hammer here. And maybe a scout. This is dividing up our forces, but it's a bit of a risk, but we do have a bit of a lead to play with. So let's see how this plays out. Whoops. Oh, we want to ruin a zone, so we're going to ruin something. We want that minefield. In case this falls down easily, we still want that minefield with those 4 points. So we'll ruin this one. Okay, they're dividing their forces all over the place, which has worked well for them in the past. And they're going for the minefield. Okay, this is going to be dicey. Let's see how this plays out. Third scout opens up strong, but goes down immediately. And their cultist goes down to our blows as well. Okay, and their bear fights for us. So a poison attack. Very nice, the bear den is ours. Okay, how are we doing? So we have a 3, we have a 4. Oh dear, a spitting cobra's under attack. He has no attacks of his own. Oh, this is tightly contested, but there's actually no benefit to them winning this because the zones are already captured. Oh wow, the spitting cobra evaded that attack and he's now double poisoned his enemy. How are we looking? Okay, we just edged out then. We've got 12 points versus their 11. So still we have a lead of 16 points. Okay, so Gamma Priest, we promised we're gonna buy him. Let's get him. His name is Orvin Galakir. A new field is opened up and it's worth 4 points. It is simply worth 4 victory points. So let's capture our favorite research station there. And we're gonna try to capture that new number 4 there. Now we don't want the spitting cobra there. We want it to have maximum range. We're gonna ruin the minefield again. And let's try to capture the zone 3. And let's place... Let's let the hammer just capture some fields. Still too nervous about leaving things on their own, but... yeah, let's see how we go. Right, so they're still dividing their forces. Good, our hammer's on his own. And they're gonna capture these. Oh dear. So our scout is outnumbered in the zone here. He's against an elf scout and a cultist, so our scout is probably not going to make it. It does have some buffs, so he's got an extra attack and 2 units of health, but I doubt that he'll be able to take down a cultist and another elf scout. So our hammer on his own, he's going to capture this zone, and that'll give us a little bit more gold. They are going to capture the trench and the other trench. We're probably going to own our research station, and this is going to be a contest. This is going to be a contest, but I think we're going to win it because they only have an elf scout. So they only have 2 elf scouts to our Gamma Priest, Berserker, and Kin of the Atom. And of course they have their Low Magus, who's going to own this and probably this area as well. This is going to be tight. Let's see how this plays out. Okay, a poison attack. Oh dear, their scouts opening up the proceedings. Whoa, and there goes our Berserker, and another attack from a Berserker. Very well done. Whoa, an invasion of an attack. The bear attacked the bear. What was it? Low Magus. So their Low Magus is fighting the bear on his own. Another of their units is poisoned, and our scout is putting up a good fight, but ultimately goes down. Their bear is still fighting their Low Magus. Okay, so we have just scored 2 points, 4 points, 4 points, and then scored 2, 1, 2, and 3. Look at that. So another of their units is poisoned. Spitting Cobra absolutely messing up all of their scores. And the bear has just finished their Low Magus. So well done to the bear for fighting off the attacks for us. Wow, look at that. Okay, another victory points for us. Will they defeat the bear before we get there? There's our hammer. Very well done by our scout there. Okay. Whoa! Just in time, our hammer has arrived. And down goes that field. So we scored 15 points versus their 10. And we now have 81 points to their 60. And we have won! So we reached the number 80, the magic number 80, and we have won this match. And that is it for episode 2 of Let's Play Vanguard Exiles. I apologize for my voice. Thanks everybody for watching, and if you'd like to see more, please hit like, subscribe, post a comment, let me know what you'd like me to try next. Have a good one.